皆さん、英語のそーたです。
And I'm Reilly.
Hey Riley, it's getting warmer in Osaka. How about in Kagawa?
Yeah, it's much warmer. I think it's like 20 degrees today.
Yeah, it's so warm and really, I feel really comfortable.
Yeah, me too. One of the first days I haven't had to wear a blanket in my house.
はい。皆さん、だんだん暖かくなってきましたね。春がやってきたなっていう感じがします。今はちょうど3月11日に収録をしてるんですけど、おそらくこのエピソードは3月25にアップされてると思うので、もっと暖かくなってるんじゃないかなと思います。で、やっぱり暖かくなるといいこともたくさんあると思うんですけど、体調も崩しやすかったり、季節の変わり目ってね、いろんなバランスを崩しやすかったりするのかなと思って、今日はこのエピソードを選びましたので、いろんな意味を含め、春を楽しみながら、気をつけながら過ごしていけたらなと思います。So, Riley, are you ready?
Yep.
そうたと
Reillyの台本なし英会話レッスン Episode 222.
Right, what is the topic for episode 222, Riley?
It is relieving stress.
はい、今回のお題は、ストレスとの向き合い方、アメリカ vs 日本です。こちらのお題に入っていく前に、ちょっといろいろと SNS でいただいていたコメントに対して、こちらでアナウンスメントをしておきたいんですが、一つ目、まずインスタの単語リスト、どこにありますかとご質問をよくいただきます。で、ライリーが毎回の番組で書いてくれている単語の表は、台本なし英会話レッスン専用のインスタグラムアカウントがありまして、台本なし英会話でインスタで調べてもらうと出てくると思います。それぞれの投稿の画像2枚目以降に毎回リストを貼っていますので、僕の SNS とかでここにありますよ、ここにありますよっていつも共有はさせていただいてたんですけど、うまくリーチしていなかったこともあるかなと思うので、こちらを利用して今お伝えしています。で、2、3週間ぐらい前にそのコメントいただいて、次のエピソードの時に教えてくださいっていうことだったんですけど、最近ちょっと2つくらいため撮りをしてたりするので、ちょうど次のエピソードに当たるところでご説明できずすみません。ちょっとラグがありますが、ご説明です。あとは、音のボリュームがちょっとBGM が大きくてメインが小さいというお声をいただいたので、こちらで編集するときにちょっと BGM 下げて、音のメインを上げました。大抵の方はアンケート取ったら音大丈夫だったみたいなんですけど、ちょっと一部機種などによって聞きにくさもあったようなので、調節しましたので、また、チェックをして教えていただけたらなと思います。そこだけまず共有です。everyone is listening to our, episodes every time very carefully. I mean, in a positive way. So people give us a lot of comments like, we sound really loud sometimes. And also, they don't know where they can find your word list. So I explained everything now.
Okay.
Yeah, which means, everyone is listening a lot. We have to appreciate that. はい。たくさん聞いてくださってるからこそのね、コメントだと思うので、ありがとうございます。So the topic for today is related to relieving stress, and I have one reason for this topic. I mean, I have one reason why I chose this one. In spring, I think, especially in Japan, there are a lot of people who commit suicide in the year. And also, it's a kind of transition of seasons. So I think, people easily get depressed or people get sick. And in Japan, we have, a hay fever as well.
Yeah, so, me too, right now.
Oh, you too?
Yeah. Can't you tell? My nose is really stuffed.
Oh, that's why you sounded like that.
Yeah.
So after coming to Japan, that happened?
I it's weird because I had it when I was a kid. Like I had allergies, but when I was in like high school, college, I didn't so much. And then after coming to Japan, I got it again, I guess.
Because I heard in the States, people usually don't have those, allergies.
Oh, really?
And in Japan, people start to have them, but I'm not sure. Is that true?
I think it's still pretty common to have allergies in the States.
I understand. なるほど。なので、ライちゃんは今ね、花粉症でやばいみたいなので、それも含めね、春って結構、いろいろ、楽しいっていう雰囲気にもなりつつも、メンタルバランスを崩しやすかったり、自殺者も春ってすごく増えたりするらしくて、あとは花粉症も含め、いろいろなんか支障も出てくる時期だろうなと思いまして、今このエピソードを作ることで、どなたかの元気だったり、心の支えになれるのかなと思いまして、これを作りたいなと思いました。So, my first question is, in the States, how do you think, people relieve their stress? Is there, any common way or is there any special way to do it? How to?
I mean, I think there's lots of ways, right?
I think so.
Some good ways, like maybe exercise or meditation or something like that. And some, not as good ways like drinking and stuff like that. Yeah.
In your case, what do you do? Gym?
What's that?
Gym?
Yeah, I think the gym helps me to relieve stress. I think I rarely go to the gym thinking like, oh, I'm stressed, I need to go to the gym. But just because I go, a few times a week, it helps me relieve stress, I think.
Anything else? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like if I feel stressed in the moment, what do I do? I mean, I'll talk to Yuki or talk to my friends about it. I think that's probably one of the main ones is talking.
Yeah,
I think. How about you?
Yeah, I also, but in my case, I don't go to gym and I don't eat any dragon rolls or something. So
dragon rolls, okay.
I love the, sushi type. Yeah, but maybe, I also talk to my family usually. And then, but in my case, I always try to solve the problems by myself. And then after getting over the problems, I often, tell about that to somebody. So usually I'm always trying to handle the situations or the problems or stress by myself. So yeah, this topic is really interesting and important to me as well, because I also can know how people relieve their stress. So as you said, meditation, and in your case, go to gym and talk to Yuki or friends.
Yeah.
I understand. So yeah, perhaps talking might be really important for anybody so that they can feel better.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
確かに。なので、一旦ちょっとフレーズを選出したいんですけれども、meditation。これはだいぶ最近ね、聞く言葉にはなりましたけど、瞑想する。ちょっと聞きたいんだけどさ、瞑想ってさ、なんかどうやってやんの？なんかいいことって分かってんねんけど、せっかちやからかな、なんかじっと座ってられへんし、なんか何が楽しいのって楽しむもんじゃないかもやけど、思っちゃって。So, what do you think? Like, can you enjoy meditation? Can you do it?
I've tried it before. I've tried, so I guess there's different kinds. The one I tried was like trying to focus only on my breath and like just breathing and not thinking about other things, I guess.
How?
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I tried it a few times for like maybe 10 minutes. but sometimes at least one of those times I fell asleep while I was trying to. So I guess it was kind of calming. I guess it worked, but I don't know. I didn't really like it so much.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but you fell asleep. That means, it worked. And
I
then
guess so. Yeah.
you were kind of relaxing yourself.
Yeah.
そう、僕さ、メディテーションさ、瞑想いいよとかね、頭の中のその邪気を取れるからとか、よく聞きますけど、やろうと思っても、なんか、だんだんだんだんみたいな、例えば音楽聴いたりしながらやるみたいなアプリとかもあるじゃないですか。で、やってると、やっぱ無理なんですよね。いろいろ考えちゃうんですよね。15% の水薬局のクーポン使わなあかんわとか、これ終わったらなんかあれせなあかん、これせなあかんみたいな。だから、ライリーが10分間も集中できたっていうのがすごいなと思うんですけど、because you just focused on your breath for 10 minutes. I think that's amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think I was successful. Of course, I was, thinking about other things or whatever, but yeah, I tried for 10 minutes, I should say.
So
Yeah.
that's really common in the States, meditation.
Really common. I would say it's getting more common, but I don't know how many people actually do it regularly.
Yeah, because Nate also talked about it before about 5 years ago or something. Oh,
Yeah.
he's from America. So I was guessing, yeah, that's getting more common.
Yeah, I think so.
なるほど。ちょっとごめんなさい。話がそれてしまって、メディテーション、瞑想ですね。で、rarely って言ってましたが、Riley じゃなくて rarely ですよ。あそこで出た単語はね。ジムに行くのっていう質問に対して、I rarely go to gym for なんとかなんとかみたいな文章で、わざわざそのストレス発散させようと思って行くっていうことはめったにないんだけど、と、こう、めったに何々ないっていう否定文になるので、これは注意ですね。レアなことですとかっていうレアに ly がついてる rarely ですね。で、他にもあとは、ストレスがやっぱ溜まってるとかって表すときに、I'm stressed, you said.
Yeah.
And I'm stressed out. That's also fine, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm stressed, I'm stressed out. この時は B 動詞と使って ED、ストレスに ED をつけて形容詞っぽく使われているので、I'm stressed までしっかりつけてくださいね。あるいは、なんとか stresses me out とかも使えますよね。
Sure. Yeah.
それも打っておいてもらおうかなと思うんですけど、あとは、こういうことしたらすごいストレス発散できるとか気持ちが楽になるとかっていうときに、It helps me to relieve my stress. That's what you said?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, going to gym helps me, blah, blah,
To
blah.
relieve some stress.
そ
Yeah.
うそうそう。って言ってたかなと思うんですけど、なんとか helps 人のね、文章も、to 不定詞っていう形でも覚えてみてください。あとは今出てたのは fall asleep で眠りに落ちるっていう、うとうとって寝ちゃうイコールすごいリラックスできてるっていうことでしょうから、メディテーションね、すごいいいんでしょうね。あとは、ライリーが他にやるのが、彼女さん、ユキさんに話しかけたり、友達と喋ったりすることでしたね。で、僕はっていう質問に対して、僕結構問題を自分でって考え込んで、自分で解決するまであんまり人に言わなかったり言えなかったりするのもあるので、解決してからお話ししたりするんですけど、やっぱり人に話すとね、気持ちってスッキリすることもあると思うので、今、話すことって大事だよねっていうお話をしてましたね。So is there anything you want to talk about right now about this topic? Like relieving stress between Japan and the States?
Between Japan and the States. Yeah,
Now,
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I think like hopefully the major points are pretty similar, right? Talking and being a good one, talking being a good way to relieve stress, and there also being some bad ways to relieve stress, like drinking or shouting or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, so I've never lived in the States, so I'm not really sure exactly, but I'm guessing like there should be some differences, before becoming stressed out. What I mean is, in Japan, people, try to handle their tasks without, asking for some help from others. Um, and also, we have a honne to tatemae custom.
Oh, right,
Sometimes,
right.
it's not really good though. People cannot let it out. And then people cannot say, oh, you're wrong, or, I don't think it's a good idea or something. But compared to that, I think Americans or Western people are pretty good at saying their opinions or how they feel. So, in that way, I was just guessing perhaps they might be better at relieving stress.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're right that um it's more common to kind of talk about problems or even complain about problems
Mm,
as they happen rather than uh like trying to solve them on your own.
mm,
But yeah, I think that's a good point that yeah, in America people tend to be it, they complain more maybe. But in Japan it's not so like socially acceptable to complain,
mm.
especially at work or something like that.
So, yeah, for example, if we focus on only working places, like
Sure.
how much do Americans, complain or say their feelings honestly? And what is the difference?
Well, yeah, I think it depends on the workplace,
Mm,
but I think in like, in a group of uh peers, right? Like people who are the same level
mm,
in the company, like yeah, they probably complain a lot, especially like if they're not in the office, like if they're, out to lunch or something like that,
mm,
then I'm sure they complain a lot. But in terms of like complaining to the boss or something like that, I think that would have to be a more serious situation for that to happen. That's not as common, right?
mm. So
Does that make
how
sense?
often or how much, do they say that, for example, to their boss?
To their boss, it probably would be rare. Like
Mm,
yeah, I think it would have to be a more kind of serious problem for them to bring it up to their boss.
mm,
But to each other, probably every day, there's
every
something
day.
to complain.
Mm,
It's just kind of like it's like something to talk about, like in Japan, I mean in America too, it's common to talk about the weather, right? Oh, it's hot today, oh, it's cold today, or something
mm,
like that. I think almost on that level of like small talk is like, oh, the boss did this, or this client is annoying because of this, blah blah blah. Like that's kind of a normal thing to talk about at work, I think.
hmm. Yeah, in Japan too, we complain. I think people tend to do that. But what I want to know is how much do Americans, directly tell to that person that you are kind of not nice or something. Do you do that compared to Japan? I mean, more often.
Yeah, I think that it happens more often than Japan, but
Mm.
I couldn't give you like a number or something like that. But I think it's more, yeah, it happens more often in America.
Because you're also working in Japan, and then how people work in the States. So I just wanted to know how you feel about the differences. Like, oh, Japanese people don't tell their complaints to each other at all, not about boss or something, like same level people, as you said, peers or something.
Yeah, so my situation is like a little bit weird because I've always worked in companies where my immediate boss is also a foreigner, right? And now I work at a company that has both Japanese and foreign staff. And yeah, I mean, in our situation, like we have, I guess, a manager who's also a foreigner. So the English teachers, what can I say, Westerners or whatever, we call them native staff, right? Native English speakers. It's pretty easy for us to complain or talk to our manager who's from Canada, so also foreign. But I'm not sure if the Japanese staff have as easy a time or as comfortable talking to their manager about problems. But that might just be our company, I'm not sure if I can say that all of American people are like this or all Japanese people are like this,
Yeah, makes sense. そうですね。まず peers ってね、出てたんですけど、よく peer pressure とかって言ったりもしますけど、日本はその peer pressure をすごい感じやすい国だとかってよく言いますよね。peer は仲間。大ちゃんがタイピングしてくれてると思います。で、仲間からのプレッシャー、つまり、誰かがこれやってるから自分もやらなきゃとかっていう、それがストレスにいろんなところでつながることもあると思うんですけど、そのピアですね。なので、この今お話に広がってたのが、人に話すことってストレス解消法として一つ大事だよねっていうお話があったときに、なんか個人的に日本とアメリカで一個違うなと思うのが、ストレスの解消法とかっていう、そのストレスを抱えてる瞬間のそこに至る前の段階で、結構吐き出すっていうのがアメリカ人とか上手なんじゃないかなっていうすごいイメージがあったんですね。で、理由として、日本って自分で解決しなきゃとか、人にあんまりバーンってそれが嫌だとか、それ間違ってると思いますとかって言えない環境が多いので、自分で溜め込んじゃってすっごいストレスを感じやすいんじゃないかなと。でも、それと比べてアメリカってどれくらいのその程度で、それおかしいと思うよとか、こうだよねっていうのを共有し合ってるんだろうっていうのを聞きたくて、今このお話になってました。で、やっぱりもちろん会社とか、環境とかにもよるとは思うんですけど、ライリーから見ても、やっぱり日本とアメリカでは、アメリカの方がcomplaints って言ってましたけどね、文句、愚痴とか、文句愚痴って言うと悪く聞こえちゃうと思うので、それおかしいと思うよっていうのを、もう少しやっぱり同じレベルの、その、同僚とかのね、仲間とかには結構言い合う仲だと。あるいは、ボスってこうだよねとかっていうのは結構話すと。それは日本でもね、愚痴のようなものはね、よく共有されると思うんですけど、僕が一番知りたかったのは、その当の本人に、例えばボスとかに、これはおかしいと思いますとかっていう、そういうのを共有し合える感覚ってどれくらいあるんだろうっていうのが知りたかったんですけど、やっぱり日米比べると、そこは頻度はアメリカの方が多そうなのかなっていうのはすごい感じましたね。でも、ボスに言うっていうのはアメリカでもね、なかなかシリアスなことなので、そんなに毎回毎日あるわけじゃないでしょうけど、やっぱり気持ちをね、外に出すことって大事なんじゃないかなって思いますね。今の聞いててね。Yeah, so as you said, in Japan, we don't let it out, and then we tend to think a lot by ourselves. And then, of course, people complain, but I don't think they are good at doing that. So I think that's one of the good cultures in the States, like sharing opinions honestly to each other.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Hay fever is killing you. Is that okay?
Yeah,
That's stressing.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been muting my mic every once in a while to blow my nose.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that stresses you out って感じですね。
I don't know about it. Not so bad.
Okay, okay. Blow my nose も打っておいてもらおうかなと思うんですけ
Yeah,
ど、
okay.
ミュートにしながら、every once in a while って言ってましたかね。こう、ちょこちょこちょこちょこミュートにしながら、鼻を噛んでるらしいです。花粉症でやられてるので、そう、大丈夫かなって思うくらい今なんかしんどそうだったなと思ったんですけど、他さ、なんか、haven't you come up with any other ways for Americans to do for stress relief?
I guess one of the like more serious ones would be like therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, I guess if there's some kind of stress that's not like temporary, but is more constant, yeah, some people go to therapy. Actually, a lot of people go to therapy, I think, especially nowadays.
Can you talk about it? Like, because in Japan, that's not really common.
Right.
Therapy.
Okay. Yeah. So, basically, therapy is when you talk therapy, at least, is when you go to kind of like a doctor's office to talk to a professional therapist. Sometimes he or she is a doctor, but sometimes they're just a person to talk to, right? And so they're like a professional at talking to people about their problems. Yeah, I've only been once.
Oh, really?
When I was a kid, when my parents got divorced, my mom thought that I should go to talk to somebody about it. And I did, and I talked to the lady, and I was like, "Yeah, it sucks because my parents are getting divorced." And afterward, apparently, the therapist talked to my mom and said, like, "Yeah, I think he's fine. He's just, upset. Like it's okay, So I only went one time.
Do you think it worked?
Like I said, like for me, I don't think I really like needed to go. I think my mom just wanted me to go just in case I had something to talk about. But after going for 1 hour or whatever it was, she was like, "Yeah, I don't think he really," that she being the therapist said, "I don't think he really needs to come. He seems okay. It will just take some time for him to get over it."
You said, that sucks. Who said so?
Me.
Oh, you said, getting divorced sucks.
Yeah, it sucks that my parents got divorced. Yeah.
That's what I said. I got it. そうですよね。一つまた出てきたのが、日本にはないアメリカならではの、特徴。ちょっと待ってな、ハエが。a fly.
Why?
そう、
You were attacked.
そう、ずっとハエ飛んでんねん、これさ、本業でもやってたんやけどさ、こうレッスンしてるときにさ、何匹か飛んでてさ、多分、観葉植物のせいやねんけど、こうやりながらレッスンやってたんやけど、今もうずっと気になってて、こういうセラピーじゃないですよ。This is not a therapy stuff, clapping hands or something. こういうのじゃなくて、ハエを叩いてましたが、すいません。でも今、こうやってね、手叩いたら、気持ちすっきりするのもあると思うので、ハエがどっか行ったっていうのもありますけど、なんか動いたり話したり、何かアクションを起こすことってね、大事なのかもしれないなって、こじつけかもしれませんけど、今思いました。で、セラピーがやっぱりアメリカでは、みんながよくやることだと、で、結構たくさんの人がやってることっていう。日本ってやっぱりカウンセリングとかってまだまだ知られてなかったり、ね、あんまりね、公には言わなかったりすることだと思うんですけど、ライちゃんも小さい時に、親御さんに連れられて行ったことがあるくらい、ね、みんながそうやって通って人に話したりするのが、よくあることみたいですね。で、なんとか sucks。で、 この文章もね、覚えておいてもらえればと思うんですけど、ライちゃん打っておいてほしいんですけど、何々が最悪であるっていう、これ動詞ですね。なので、親が、離婚して、もう、that sucks、もう最悪なんだよねっていうのを、カウンセリングの人にお話をして、で、そのカウンセラーの人が、ライちゃんのお母さんに、いや、もう彼大丈夫ですよと、もうそのうち時間が経ったら、ね、気持ち的に治ると思うからっていうふうになって、ライちゃん的にはそこに通ったりすることはなかったみたいですけど、やっぱりね、アメリカではそれはよくあることみたいですね。つまり、やっぱりこう人に話したりすることって大事なんでしょうね。You know, we can know that it's important to let it out and, to talk to somebody about the problems.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people it's really helpful. I have friends who go regularly. And now there's like apps where you can like text with a therapist over the phone. So you don't even have to go anywhere, or you don't have to like set up a time. You can just send a message when you feel bad or whatever, and the therapist will respond and talk to you.
そっか、最近はそういうアプリとかもあるんですね。確かにいろんなものがね、こう発展してますから。なのでね、僕がこのエピソードをね、作ろうと思ったのが、やっぱり、時期とか、今のこの世の中で求められていることとかを僕はすごく配信するときに考えるので、この春の切り替えの時って、やっぱり日本ではこう自殺率もすごい上がるってなった時に、ちょっとでも何かを聞いたきっかけで、最悪の事態がこう免れる、そこからこう離れられることができる瞬間とか、しんどいってなった時に、これを聞いたおかげでとか、これを見たおかげで救われるっていうことってあるんじゃないかなって思ったんですよね。なので、今もなんかすごい気持ち的にしんどいなとかって思ってる方が、僕たちのこういうお話を聞くことで、そんなアプリあるんだ、アプリ使ってみようとか、アメリカではカウンセリングがあるんだ、じゃあ日本でも私行ってみようとか、日本とかってね、それはどの国でもそうでしょうけど、小さい社会の小さい世界でそれがいい悪いって決めるわけですから、そんななんかこう小さい世界でね、こう苦しんでちゃいけないと僕は思うんですよね。世の中、もう世界は広くて、この国ではダメと思われていることも、他の国ではいいって思われていることなんていっぱいあったりすると思うので、そういう意味でも英語をすることで、その視野が広がるメリットってたくさんあると思うんですよね。なので、今のこのお話を聞いて、アプリやってみようとか、何かどなたかの気持ちがちょっとでも楽になったらいいなと思って、今このお話をしています。なので、ここまで出てきたのが、人に話すことだったり、ジムに行くことだったり、カウンセリングを使ってみることだったり、そういうアプリをね、使ってみること、いっぱい出てきましたよね。で、もう一個がね、So, I think this is a kind of serious topic, but I want to focus on this because this is really important. In Japan, I don't know why, but the number of people who commit suicide, um, you know, is increasing or increases in spring. And
Right.
also, that's kind of a lot. And actually, this is my first time, but my friend committed suicide, recently. And
Oh,
then
really?
that experience also made me think about making this episode for everybody or for somebody. So, from your perspective, after coming to Japan, like, did you hear that or did you notice those differences about committing suicide in Japan and in the States?